Hey there, everybody. It's Tanya here. Welcome to another episode of HMF Live. Sorry, let me pause the TV, I guess. And I've got my dog grumbling over here. Welcome to another episode. This week, of course, as you know, this is our monthly relationship episode. And you can see Gary's not here, but he will be here in just a couple minutes. He's out in the garage. So tonight, as I mentioned, we are going to be talking about how to deal with or what to do when you have an unsupportive spouse or partner. But I'm going to extend that too. We'll do this later in the show, but I'm actually going to extend that into family members and friends, people who are around you that, you know, by default or by nature of their relationship to you should be supportive, but for whatever asinine reason, they aren't. So we're going to talk about all that. But we're going to start with spouses and partners because this is the relationship episode, and so we usually come from our perspective within our marriage.
Hello.
And there's Gary. Now, let me tell you where the inspiration for this comes from. I can scoot over. The inspiration for this episode comes from. So, as you guys have probably seen, I've posted off and on about the 80-day program that I'm doing right now. And a part of that is being in an exclusive coach test group. Now, in this group, granted, there's like 40,000 people, so it's a very active group, but I've seen a couple of different posts from some of the other coaches who've talked about their spouses who are not that supportive. One that kind of really sort of grinded my gears, I guess, was this coach had mentioned that her husband was like, you know, you're still doing this health and fitness thing, like, you're not going to stick with it. Why are you doing this still? You know, basically, like, I don't believe in you. Like, you've never stuck to anything, so why am I supposed to believe that you're going to do this now? Okay, so that was one, and that pissed me off. And I think her response was something about, well, I've been, or you're not committed or dedicated or something like that. And her response was, well, I've been dedicated or committed or whatever it was to you for the last 16 years, and so I thought it was a great comeback. But anyway, so that was one.
Never question your wife's judgment. Look who she married.
Yeah. And then there was another one. Are you gonna cough the whole time?
Yep.
And there was another one that I told Gary about. Do you remember what the other one was that I thought was ridiculous?
No.
I don't remember. There was another one I told him about that was just ridiculous. And I've seen a couple though that coaches that, you know, another coach talked about how she came home and her husband had meal prepped for her because she worked long hours at the hospital and knew that she was really dedicated and wanting to do this, and so that's what it should be like. So we wanted to talk about our sort of our experience in me going through such major lifestyle changes. I mean, now it's been almost 10 years, but over that time kind of really getting more and more dedicated to my fitness journey, but that means getting more and more sort of dedicated or even sometimes restrictive with the things that I'm eating. You know, sometimes it's flexible. Sometimes I'm more loosey-goosey about it, and sometimes I'm very, like right now, I'm really like on it hardcore. And that takes adjustment for him. But, so first of all, I want to start with calling out husbands or wives, girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever. I want to start by calling out all of the partners that are unsupportive, because that's just bullshit. If you're with a person, especially if you've gotten married, if you are with a person and you have said, I'm going to be committed to this person, I'm going to dedicate this person, and I hopefully, if you're married, you've decided to make that a lifelong commitment, then that means you have to be supportive in their different endeavors. Granted, healthy, legal endeavors, you know, not like going to be a drug kingpin and I'm going to support you in that. Like, okay, come on. But I mean, if she or he is trying to make healthy choices because she wants to feel better, I'm speaking she, because most of the people I work with are women, so I'm going to speak for the wives. So if she wants to make changes to her health, fitness, body, whatever, because she doesn't feel like she's not comfortable in her own body, or she wants to lose weight or whatever, why would you stop her from doing that? Why would you stop your wife from feeling good about herself? Unless you are a controlling asshole who maybe is mentally, emotionally, or physically abusive and wants to keep that stranglehold on her. So that's one. I mean, I don't know if you want to talk about unsupportive,
Yeah.
wives and...
Well, no, I mean, okay, so Kenya started this, like she said, like 10 years ago. Never once have I ever said a discouraging word against her working out, her choice in food, any of that. 100% supportive about it. I don't see a reason to deter her from being healthy. Even saying that sentence is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. Men out there, you don't want to know what it is? The guys out there that do this to their wives are insecure. They are saying, well, if you get all hot and sexy, then what are you going to do with me? Well, the fuck? You're married. She's just trying to get healthy. That's all she's doing.
And most of the wives that I work with, they are doing this so they can get healthier and feel sexier for their husbands.
Right.
They're not doing it to go find a new husband.
And then guys, there's some guys out there, it's like, who are you doing this for?
You
what are you
dumbass.
doing this for? What are you doing this for? Why? Well, no, why don't you say what you're really saying and say, hey, you're just trying to get skinny so other men can fuck you. That is exactly what your brain is thinking. I would love for all of you wives out there to play this for your husbands and make them watch at least this particular moment in this thing, okay? Because if they discourage you, they don't want you to do it, they put you down, they body shame you, whatever they're doing to you, the reason why they're doing it is because they think you're going to go away, that you are wanting to do this for somebody else. And, I've come across, I've heard over the last couple of weeks some really stupid men. Really, really stupid, ignorant fools. I mean, you're making it hard on all the rest of us men out here that are trying to be good guys, but we can't be trusted because of your stupidity. So...
Care to give us an example of what you heard? Because now I'm curious what you're...
Well, just hearing what you've been telling me.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like this woman is out there busting her ass, trying to make herself feel better, trying to, all this stuff for her. She's taking a healthy thought, and her husband is like, well, what are you doing this for? Why? You're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. Really? I would punch you in the face. I'm not kidding. How stupid. You stupid, stupid men. Holy shit, your wife is getting hot and sexy for you. And if you think that she is going to find somebody else, then you're doing something stupid. That's what's going on, is you're projecting your stupidity onto your wife.
Well, and if there's trust issues, then you got bigger issues than your wife trying to lose weight
Absolutely.
or get healthy or whatever. That's a whole different episode. But that's a whole different issue. So, you kind of need to also look at where this is coming from. Stop. Is this more of an insecurity just on your part? Is there a lack of trust in your marriage? Really, really dissect that. And if it comes down to it's just you being insecure, if you become a part of the process or the journey with her, she's going to love you that much more for it. Now, that doesn't mean you have to work out. Gary doesn't work out with me.
Uh-huh.
I've been doing this for almost 10 years.
Not at all.
Gary hasn't worked out once with me in that 10 years.
I think I did P90X for like 2 days.
But we weren't even working out
together. But we worked it out together. I just did it for 2 days, and then I was like, fuck this. I'm not doing it,
yeah, so it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to do everything that she's doing. He eats some of the stuff I eat, but he doesn't eat all of it. But if he's helping me with meal prepping, or if he's helping to do my laundry with all my workout clothes, there's so many different ways. And that kind of leads me into the next sort of topic of this, is how to help get your spouse on board when they're not. And so, women, when you're talking to a guy, for the most part, guys are straight guys anyway, very action-based. So if you could tell them, hey, I really need your support on this, and even if maybe you didn't stick to stuff in the past, you did diet fads and all that kind of stuff, maybe you explain to them that this is going to be different because of X, Y, and Z, and this is how I need your support. This is what it looks like. Maybe it's, you would be such a huge help if you could just do the dishes like on Sunday, because that's when I'm going to do all my meal prep or whatever, like Gary, that's one of the things Gary used to do for me in the really early days was my meal prep, because I would get up and have to work out, but then I still had to go to work, go to my internship, go to grad school, and come home super late.
I was making all the meals every day. Now, I'm not saying that like in complaining. I'm just saying that that's what you do. You're part of a team, and you work together. And not only that, but we're talking. She was saying earlier about changing. The hardest thing about change are the people around you allowing the change to take a hold. That is the biggest problem. It's not changing yourself. It's having everybody around you leave you. Because if they just keep on saying, well, you're just acting the same way you were, or they treat you the same way that you used to be, you're just going to fall back into it. It's just easy to do, because you're like, fuck it, fine. If nobody else is going to think that I'm going to change, then I'm just going to go ahead and go right back to where I was, because that's what people expect out of me anyways. I think it's just, God, it just burns me in half that men are that fucking stupid. It just makes me so, Tanya, her office and her workout space is the master bedroom. When we moved in here, I was telling her, hey, take the master bedroom so you can have more room for your working out and your space and all of that. It's you work together. And if you stop working together, you'll start working against each other. And then, you might as well just throw in the towel and say, fuck it, I'm done. I don't want to deal with you anymore. Every time I see you, I want to punch you. And I can't do that for the next 60 years or whatever. But guys, you've got to be supportive in everything, not just in health, everything. Support your wife. Support her decisions. Wives, same thing, Support your husband. Support what he has to say. Sit down and talk, whatever it takes. But if you don't support each other, then you might as well not even be married.
Sometimes
it's fucking stupid.
That lack of support is just a lack of understanding. Maybe if you haven't taken the time to sit down with him or her and tell them what you're doing, and again, if you did maybe jump from diet to diet or whatever in the past, or you crapped out on workout programs or whatever, or going to the gym, maybe this time tell them why this is going to be different. That you're trying something new. Maybe it's now you have
this isn't a diet.
A trainer. Maybe now you have a coach. Maybe now you have a whatever. But tell them why it's different and why you really feel like this is going to work.
And don't use the word diet. This isn't a diet. You change your terminology. Say, hey, this is a lifestyle change, or something. But it's not a diet. Diets don't work. Diets are stupid. It's a lifestyle change. It's a commitment. And if you start calling it a lifestyle change and everything, you won't have that aversion to the word diet.
Well, and I think too, if you just ask them sometimes, hopefully if they're reasonable, and you just ask them for, like, hey, I'm just asking you to give me if nothing else, give me a shot. Like, let me show you that I can do this. Hopefully they won't try to make it harder or impossible for you and be another roadblock or obstacle, but sometimes, and it's unfortunate, if you've had that habit of stopping and quitting, then you might have to do a little bit more diligence on your part to prove to them that you're serious about this. Now, guys, if you're trying to get your wives or girlfriends on board, you need to come to them and tell them more about the why, more about why this is important to you, what their support means to you, like basically come at them from a more emotional standpoint. And after they're on board, then you can move to the how this is going to happen. And here's what I would love to have from you. Okay, so that sometimes it's also a matter of how you communicated it. Guys don't connect as much with the emotional stuff. They may not understand why, they might think you look great, and they don't understand why you don't feel that way. So you have to come from a more of a technical, like, I'm doing X, Y, and Z. Wives, they need to be approached more from the emotional, the heart standpoint, because that's where they feel it more. Now, when it comes to other people, like relatives or friends, whatever, even coworkers, this is where it can be a little bit even more cut and dry. So, first of all, with your relatives, like, moms, dads, aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters, even your kids. Like with your kids, you know, especially if they're younger, they just don't understand. Kids will just say whatever. So you kind of have to take some of that with a grain of salt, figure out ways to get them involved. But when it comes to adult relatives, I've had plenty of relatives who've asked me, why am I doing this? Am I sick? Why am I losing weight? You don't need to lose weight. You're too skinny. You need to eat something.
Oh,
blah,
God,
blah,
that
blah,
makes
blah.
me so mad when somebody says, oh my God, you look like you're wilting away. You just need to eat. Da, 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 da. Shut your mouth. Just shut up. You know? That's so stupid. Like, somebody's actually healthy and they don't, what do you want them fat because you're insecure about your own fucking body? So you have to project that to somebody else? I mean, get over yourself.
So for them, I mean, you can kind of do a little bit more sort of like, I mean, it's hard with family. I mean, I'll be honest, it's not as hard for me because I've gotten past the point where I care about what other people outside of like a few select people really think. But when it comes to my health and fitness journey, I don't care what anybody thinks. Like, not even Gary. Gary's not even going to deter me from what I'm doing. But when it comes to other family members, at the end of the day, I am the only one, and you're the only one who has to live in your body. I'm the only one that has to live in this body. I have to be happy about it and with it and healthy and keeping it, like, no matter what happens, whether someone comes, goes, dies, in or out of your life, whatever. Like, that's just how it is. You're the only one that has to be here in this body, so it's up to you to take care of it and not care about what other people think about it. Now, the places where you can just, like, cut that shit out, friends and coworkers. You can completely, like, if somebody's a real friend, they're going to support you. I mean, and when you make these sort of positive lifestyle changes, that's when you're really going to find out who your friends are. It's kind of like when an addict or an alcoholic starts to get sober and starts to get clean. You start to find out real quick who are your friends, who are the ones who are there for you, and who are the ones that were there for the vice. It's the same thing. Like, if they aren't going to be supportive, if they're always the ones who are like, yeah, let's go out drinking, or let's go out, you know, let's go to McDonald's, or, oh, you don't need to watch your weight, just eat whatever. Okay, then, you know, maybe it's not cutting them out of your life completely, but it might be distancing yourself from them for a while until you feel strong enough here to have that willpower. When they aren't controlling things, you can control your response. So that's one thing with your friends and family. Now, coworkers, that's another level. Like, yes, you still have to be professional, but if the only relationship you have with them is professional, there is no fucking reason why they should say anything about your personal life, personal lifestyle, and choices if it has no impact on your work performance. And here's my personal experience with the workplace. For the most part, I have pretty supportive people around me. But before, like in some of my past jobs, you know, we'd have like a potluck at work, and you know, I might bring something that's healthier, so that way at least I know there will be something there that I can eat that's not going to throw me off track. But people always make those comments. Oh, you know, you can't have that because of whatever. Oh, or you walk into this, I get a lot. You walk into a room and they go, oh well, you know, it's not healthy, or oh look, I'm eating a salad or whatever. Like, I don't give a fuck what you're eating. I don't care if you care about what I'm eating. Like, do your thing. You do you, boo. I'm gonna do me. Like, I never understood. I think my presence apparently made people feel super self-conscious about their decisions. And I don't care. I don't judge you for what you eat, and I really don't care if you even want to judge me for what I eat. But at the coworker level, you know, at the workplace, do whatever. Let people say what they're gonna say. You know, just roll that off their back. I mean, and if they get nasty about it, then hey, you stand your ground, and if you need to, you kind of get nasty back, but in defense of yourself. So, you may not always be able to get support in those particular areas, but you might. You know, I have a few of my former colleagues that have gotten on board with me and some of the stuff that I do. Not all of them, but I don't make them, you know. But it's up to me also at the same time to stand in my own power, I guess, to stick to my guns on what I want to do. So, have you checked out of this episode? No. But I would love to hear from you guys. Let me see, let me move this. Where are we at? Oh, right around 20 minutes. Okay, so I would love to hear from you guys though. Like, what sort of do you experience? First of all, do you experience unsupportive people? Is your spouse or partner unsupportive? And you may not want to post that in the comments here. That's totally fine.
Do you experience health shaming?
Right. You know, and if so, I mean, if you do and you don't want to post it publicly, I understand. Feel free to message me and we can chat about maybe ways to kind of help you get through that. But have you experienced, you know, unsupportive coworkers or unsupportive, you know, friends or even family members? And if you want to make it public, go for it. You know, maybe it's time to call them out on the fact that they are not being as good of a friend or family member as they're supposed to be. Again, some of these people by nature should just be, by the nature of the relationship, should be more supportive. And if you're trying to do something that is healthy and positive for you and your family, why would anybody want to keep you from doing that?
Yeah. I mean, I guess the whole, like, the moral of the story today is just, why? Why are you, give me a valid reason why you are, you know, you're health shaming somebody. I mean, give valid, I mean, not valid, but justify it. Prove it.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, we both get kind of snarky, kind of bitchy about it too. Like, I would almost guilt trip them for it in return. Like, so I'm trying to get healthy. I'm trying to be a better wife. I'm trying to be a better mom. I'm trying to be a better person. And you don't want me to do that. Why?
Right.
And you think that's a bad thing because...
Why would you want to stop anybody from improving themselves?
Yeah.
That just, you know...
So anyway, I hope that, you know, this gives you maybe a little bit of encouragement that even if you do have a lack of support at home, you can do this. Whatever your lifestyle changes that you're trying to make, if it's health, fitness, just better, you know, personal growth, whatever, know that you can do it. Now, if you don't have the support, it makes it harder. But does it make it impossible? No. At the end of the day, whether you have support or not, if you want it, you still have to do it. When I started this journey, if I really, really, really wanted it, and I knew I had to figure out a way to make it happen. Now, I'm very fortunate in the fact that I have a very supportive husband who is clearly more interested in the dog right now, but, you know, it still was a great help to me. However, I also know that myself, that I would have figured out a way to do it because I wanted it bad enough. And I'm rarely the type to let someone stand in my way. So I want you guys to, or gals, to be the same way, especially if it's something that's going to have a positive outcome for your life. So I hope that these tips have helped. Again, I would love to hear. I always want these videos to be more of a conversation, but you guys watch, which is great, and I appreciate it. I would love to hear from you and interact. So, but if you've got questions, comments, additional tips that might help other people out there, maybe ways you have gotten past some lacking of support, share them, comment, and you know, share this video, comment, you know, or tag people that you think might need to see this. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon. And
stand strong.
Stand strong and have a happy, healthy day.